Hi, my name's Lucas.
Hi, my name is Brandon.
Hi, I'm Jack.
I'm Alex.
This is our final project for CS 595 Capstone. We did a web comment extension for Chrome that we're going to show you. First, we'll take you through a brief introduction to help you understand what this project is about. Next, we'll go through a demo. Lastly, we'll take you through some behind the scenes of how our app is deployed.
Here's kind of a recap of our grand vision that we already talked about in previous presentations. So our grand vision for this project was to develop a fully featured web application that allows users to leave comments on any web page via the URL. The front end is implemented as a browser extension that automatically loads comments associated with the URL of the current would be viewable at the domain or the URL level. Users log in to post comments, and then verified users could also opt to post their comments anonymously. Comments could be rated, sorted, and reported, and users would have manageable, reasonable tools to manage their account and their comments.
Hi, I'm going to take you through a quick demo of the WebChat commenting extension that we've created for our Capstone project. First, you can see that I'm in a Chrome browser and I'm on the extensions webpage with developer mode turned on. Next, I'm going to show what a user might do. The user goes to the Duck Wikipedia page. They want to leave a comment behind. So they see our icon in the top right corner. They click it and welcome to WebChat guest. You can see that because they're not signed in, they're listed as a guest. And this message shows that sign in to post comments or access your account. We're going to close that message right now just to show a few of the basic features before we do that. First is that comments are ordered by newest on top, and as you scroll down, you can see 44 minutes, 12 hours. We're getting older and older. And when we reach the bottom of that page, then it's going to load in another page of comments. So this is kind of the structure of that. We can switch from date down to date up and refresh. And you notice the newest comments are on bottom, oldest ones are on top. Another preference that users might like to have turned on is auto scroll to newest comments. So when they open up the browser tab, then you'll see the newest comments are showing up on the bottom and older ones are on top. As you scroll up, then it loads new comments on top. We think this is intuitive for users who are used to chat services and text messaging. Another feature I'm going to show quick is the color scheme. I'm going to change it from light to dark. Dark mode is cool, so we had to hop on that new trend. Another thing I'll show is maximum comments to load at once. So right now it's set to 10. So when it's opened up, it'll load in a page of 10 before loading more. And you can see load more comments shows up at the top. It'll do 10 at a time. This is to reduce the burden of data that is sent to a particular client at any given time. You can see if we set this to a higher value, say 100, it's going to load in all the comments at once when they open the extension. And you can see that's true. They're all loaded in. Next thing a user might want to do is leave a comment. So maybe they want to know how to care for a duck, and they're asking the community of people visiting this Wikipedia page what they think. So they can't add a comment because, as the message said before, they need to be signed in. So what we're going to have them do is either click the sign in button or go to the account tab and register a new account. I'm going to just give this username. I'm just going to give him Samuel, and I have an email address for Samuel and a password. And you can see that as I'm typing in the password, it's verifying that it's matching what we consider a strong password. And after that's all complete, you're going to hit sign up. So this is now the message they'll see. They sent an email to our friend Samuel. He'll check his email. He'll see the link. He'll click the link, and this is a pretty standard procedure if you've signed up for many websites. Click the link and you're in. So after they've clicked the link and been verified, then just one more time, we'll have them go and sign in just so we make sure the password works. And after they sign in, it'll be a successful message shown to the user, and they should be able to return to their extension. You can see that as we're on the account tab, we're signed in as the username and the email address shows correctly. We can return to the comments, and this is another thing we've been working on. We wouldn't want our users to have to retype the entire comment that they were working on before they signed up or signed in. So we've saved it in the text box here, and you can see that they click add comment and it shows up on the bottom. A UI thing that we did that we thought would be really intuitive to users who are comfortable with texting a lot is to put our comments on the right and other people's on the left. Is a lot similar to like group messages on other websites and other services. I can show that adding a comment when there's no text in here means you can't post a comment. This is because we don't want to store unnecessary data in our databases, and because having a bunch of empty comments isn't going to be helpful for other users. Another thing I'll show off is commenting anonymously. You might select this if you want to ask an embarrassing question, maybe, and you don't want people to know it's you. So if you want to say, I have found a duck feather in my house, you can add that anonymously, and you'll see that it shows up on the left-hand side, because while you do need to be signed in to post it, it's not associated with this account, so to speak. Another thing I can show is, while we do have a refresh button to load in new comments, we also have an auto load feature. So to show off the auto load feature, what I'm going to do is post a comment on my other screen using a request to our backend service. So I'm going to send that in 3, 2, 1, send. And you can see that it immediately shows up there. So this is really helpful for treating this as more of an instant messaging platform, so people can see responses immediately without having to close and open it again or click the refresh button every time they want to check. Another thing I can show quick is signing out. You sign out, it goes back to being grayed out. You can't add comments, and this shows I'm not signed in. And finally, the message in the top will say that we're a guest, so we aren't able to sign it, or we aren't able to post comments. We're only able to view them. If you do want to sign in and you've forgotten your password, you'll get a similar looking prompt to what you might have seen on other websites. And this one is, simply enter your username, click reset my password, and again, we'll go over to our email, and immediately we have another email in our inbox. Using this verification code, I should be able to create a new password. So I'm going to change my password now. The request looks like it processed properly, so we're just going to sign in one last time. We sign in again, and it looks like it's a success. So we go back to the extension, and it shows that we are signed in. Another thing I can show is that if you go to another website, it works on this one too. You open it up. This website has a lot of test data that we've put in here, but it's really just to show that it works on other websites. If you go to Yahoo, for example, you'll see that nobody's left a comment here before, and you can be the first. Hi, this is Brandon. I'm going to show you a behind the scenes of our application, a bug fix, and the deployment process that we use. So we use an application called Postman, which is great at um, sending requests. You see if I hit send on our comment REST endpoint with the proper body specified, then we get a list of comments back on the particular website specified. But the other day, someone noticed that if these fields are empty or are filled with text instead of a number, we're getting a 500 internal server error response back from the Lambda. This generally means that the code crashed because of an uncaught exception. So I'm going to show how we kind of discover the solution to this problem. So initially, when we're sending these requests, we're getting 500s, and this doesn't tell us much about it because the client shouldn't care about what kind of error the server's having. So to find out, we need to go look at our CloudWatch logs. So I'm going to filter down to the last 5 minutes of the logs occurring in this Lambda function. I'm going to scroll down for the newest logs and look for an error. We see a couple errors occurring here, which are in line with the time that we estimate that they occurred. So I'm going to click on the newest error occurred, and you can see right at the bottom there's a value error caused by invalid literal for int on the text ASDF. So this is also going to tell us exactly where the error occurred. So just to help me find it, I'm going to copy this, move over to PyCharm, and do a search. So this will take me straight to the line, and here we are. We were at the comment URL endpoint, and it looks like this is the line that it crashed on. So if you know much about Python, you will know that you can't just cast text to an int, it will fail. So what we need to do is introduce some kind of try except to help avoid this failure. So what I'm going to do is just do a quick try block. So here's the code after I finish the solution to what I think is going to fix this bug. Instead of doing a cast to an int, well, we're still doing a cast to an int, but we're putting it in the try except and catching value errors and type errors just for safety. So what I'm going to do is make sure to commit my change. And I'm going to push the change. Now what you'll see is we've committed the file and it's pushing right now. So we can go back to our branch in GitHub and go to the checks. This is where kind of the interesting things happen. This is part of the process of deployment, and it happens every time a commit is pushed. I'm not going to explain all the individual tasks that it needs to perform, but they are necessary in order to deploy. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is run a quick command on my local command line tool, which is going to tell the GitHub server that we would like to deploy. And that's just a quick curl command, which I have right here. I'm just going to copy this and paste it right in. So this curl command is going to take the fix casting branch and just deploy that. So we can see that in progress if we go to our environment tab. you'll see that after I've sent the command, the process will be in progress. So it's going to zip the source code and continue along the process. Once it's complete, this should turn green and have a little check mark. Also, you'll see my commit message here. That's just a GitHub thing. But that's also how we know that we're pushing our latest code. So it looks like it's finished. It's completed the job with a check mark, and this has a check mark also. That means our latest code that I've committed is on the server. So it's time to go back to Postman and see if I can't get rid of this 500 internal server error. So just for a quick sanity check, I'm going to set it back to a number. So it works when we expect it to work. Now when we expect it to fail, what happens? We have a 400 bad request message that we've sent, and we give the client a bit more specific error. And of course, there's not going to be any more errors occurring for this bug in our CloudWatch logs, which is good. So that's kind of the process of a bug fix on the back end. Thanks for watching.